Now, what happens if you have a criminal record and you want to apply for citizenship, or you've applied for citizenship and an unfortunate incident happens and you are charged and convicted with a criminal offense? As you know, there is if you've been convicted of a serious offense, you're prohibited from applying for citizenship. So I'll just read some of the things where you cannot become a citizen of Canada. It basically makes you completely ineligible. The only way around it is to keep continuing to renew your PR application. And then we'll go into detail as to how do you overcome this should the offense not be necessarily serious. And so if you've been convicted of what's called an indictable offense, many don't understand this Canadian terminology. Americans usually say felony offense, but if you've been convicted of an indictable criminal offense, which is against the Citizenship Act, you cannot be eligible for citizenship. If you've been convicted of an indictable offense and you've served your sentence, you still may be eligible if 3 years have elapsed since the sentence and everything has been completed. So do contact us if that's your case. But if you're in the process of completing a sentence or you just recently been convicted of an indictable offense, you definitely cannot submit that citizenship application. If you're in prison or currently still in parole or serving probation. So again, the idea is you have to complete your entire sentence before you're eligible to submit an application. Now that really applies also to obviously summary convictions, lesser offenses. If you're in the midst of completing something before a citizenship application can be submitted or finalized, you definitely need to make sure that everything has been served and completed. So if it's a summary conviction and you're serving a parole, for example, or probation, make sure you complete that before you submit. If you're under a removal order, basically you are requested to leave Canada based on your criminal offense, or for that matter, for any matter, whether it's a criminal offense or there's other immigration issues that caused a removal order, you cannot submit a citizenship application. If you've been investigated or being investigated, charged with, or convicted of a crime against humanity, so those are really severe, offenses. Example would be human trafficking and so forth. Obviously, Canada will not be granting citizenship to those kinds of offenses. Specifically, I mean, sometimes clients do call to say, I've been charged with this but not convicted. There's still an obligation for you to demonstrate that the offense was dismissed and what reasons was it dismissed and so forth. But if it has been dismissed and you weren't convicted of it, then you can apply for your citizenship application. Now, focusing more in regards to what happens if, for example, you file an application and while the application is in process, you get charged with DUI, for example. That's a very common offense, or petty theft and so forth. The key here for being ineligible to continue citizenship or to apply is when it's an indictable offense. Many of these offenses, such as DUI, such as petty theft and so forth, is where Canada calls it a hybrid offense. So it could be a summary and it could be an indictable depending on many factors. So if that's your case where you just submitted an application and then you get charged with an offense and you're not sure how to proceed, give us a call. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the game for you. It just means that you have to make sure that you disclose all of that information to the immigration officer and make sure that it's equated to the Canadian Criminal Code as a summary conviction or a hybrid offense. So I know that's a lot to digest right now, but there's so many offenses in the Canadian Criminal Code that we can't go. I mean, the videos only allow for so much. I can't go with every single offense, but most offenses that we see are the hybrid offenses, and so therefore you possibly would still be able to continue with a successful citizenship application. Give us a call if this applies to you. We'd be more than happy to address any questions you may have. Thank you, and until next time.